Hi guys, my name is Gary Whitcomb. I am up in shop 64 in the sail loft, and this is my speech on George S. Patton Jr., America's General. Some uncommon things about George: he was a member of the 1912 Olympic team. He took fifth place in the pentathlon, which includes fencing, swimming, horse riding, shooting, and running. He earned the title Master of the Sword while going to school at Mounted Service School at Fort Riley, Kansas, where he would be a student and ultimately the fencing instructor. He believed in reincarnation. He believed that he was the ninth reincarnation of a soldier that served under Alexander the Great. He predicted the Japanese surprise attack in a report he did on June 3rd, 1937. He earned a Purple Heart in World War I, where he led 6 men in a tank to attack a nest of machine guns. He also served as a decoy for the D-Day invasion. The Germans thought that he would be the general who would lead the invasion. So the Allies had him with a fake airfield, fake airplanes, fake trucks in Dover, and kept feeding information to the Germans that the attack would come from Dover instead of from Normandy. George's childhood was pretty good. He was born in San Gabriel, California on November 11th, 1885. He had one sister. He came from a very wealthy home. His father was a district attorney for Los Angeles. He attended Virginia Military Institute for 1 year. Then he transferred to West Point, where he graduated 46th in his class. George's early military career really kind of set the tone for the rest of his career. His first combat experience was during the Pancho Villa expedition down in Mexico. He was assigned to General Pershing, and when they were done, Pershing was moved to the American Expeditionary Force on the Western Front in Europe, and he had George come along as his aide. He was also the first officer assigned to the United States Tank Corps. George Patton had so many different battles through his career where he led his men, and I only chose one, and it's the Battle of the Bulge, and it was in Bastogne, and it was being held by the 101st Airborne, and they had been cut off. Their supply lines were cut off, and George Patton was 100 miles to the east, and he was ordered to relieve the 101st Airborne. So he turned the 3rd Army 90 degrees and marched 200,000 men and 200 tanks in the middle of winter and engaged the enemy in 3 days. After 7 days, he made contact with the 101st Airborne Division and relieved them. It was called the Greatest American Battle. Thank you very much for listening to my speech.